What's good? We are back. Za Boys in the mix. I got my boy Mark today. Got my boy Suave, and I got my brother James in the mix. Let's see. Let me get my head out the way so we can
Yo,
see
what's good,
everybody.
y'all?
Yo.
Everybody good? Good? We good? Bet,
Yes,
bet.
sir.
Yeah,
So
then my
today,
phone black.
it might be a slight delay. I don't know. Since it's so many of us, I don't know how smooth it's gonna go. But is everybody like hearing me like latency wise? Like how's
For the most
time?
part, you sound pretty clear. I mean, you sound
Yeah, I
good.
hear you.
Okay, bet. Cool. All right, so I wanted to just chop it up with my bros today about a lot of the bullshit that's been going on in our society. Some things that directly affect us, some that don't. And we're gonna start off on a lighter note. How many of y'all niggas saw this shit about this man getting abducted by dolphins?
What now?
There was this white guy who got abducted by dolphins.
How is this
Abducted?
Yep,
how is
Yeah, I
this
seen that.
how is this documented, man? I mean, what's the proof?
it was on the news.
But so, hold on. You talking about like an actual grown man
Yes,
got abducted by dolphins?
Hmm.
and he's apparently an engineer.
I mean, what they carried him
How do you
on
get
top of
abducted by dolphins?
they carried on top of the water. They ain't let him drown. What are you talking about?
Your guess is as good as mine. Hear me out. No. He was
I
apparently
gotta read the story.
submerged underwater for 3 days. When they found him, he was dehydrated, and they did tests and everything, and it showed that he was indeed submerged underwater for a significant amount of time. But he did not. He didn't asphyxiate. He didn't die. He didn't suffocate.
Dog,
So somehow, some way, they kept this nigga alive.
I mean, I'm not saying they ain't smart because they one of the smartest mammals, but that's just like, how do you get yourself in that situation?
this is fake news. I mean, can you
Hey,
will
James,
your
hear
skin
me
even
out,
stay
bruh.
together? I'm just asking, will your skin stay together submerged in water for like, you know, after a couple hours, your skin turn raisiny and is salt water different to your skin, mate? Dog, I don't know about that one.
I
That's
hear
what I'm
you,
And what
saying.
did they do?
but
They breathed in, they gave him
res-
air bubbles out of their head? Like, I don't know, dog. That's wild. Okay,
they got
I don't. I'm
Like,
trying, how they
how
giving
did
him
that? Was his
air?
body wrapped around? Was he
They found
hugging
a
one of
cave
them?
down there. Like, what are we doing, dog? With some trapped air? Like, what are we doing?
oh, oh look. The story goes that apparently they had him to come down there to build something for them, and they said they would be back.
And the dolphin said, we don't want this shit, nigga. We taking this nigga hostage. Hey, dog. Don't send no more engineers
That had
down
to
here,
be the
motherfucker.
best. That had to be the best LSD/mushroom trip of his life.
What?
Man,
The
look.
you riding with the dolphins, literally.
It's hard. I got to find this article
Oh
and read it myself.
man.
I
Let me.
mean,
I'm gonna get it on my other phone. I'm gonna pull it up on my other phone and send it to you.
the thing is, it's usually the crazy shit that people don't believe that kind of be
That's
true
real.
sometimes.
I hear you.
Man,
Mhm.
I hear you.
that's real. Cause
Especially
I just need
nowadays,
to know
bro.
how it happened. I just need to know how
Especially
it happened.
nowadays. I
Cause
got you.
I don't know if y'all seen a few clips of the early Kanye rants where people used to call Kanye crazy. And then when you go and rewatch what he
Hmm.
was saying, it's like,
was
damn,
spot on.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, a broke clock can be right twice.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
That's real. That's real. And all this and all the craziness, there can be some truth. That's real.
Especially Suave when Kanye was talking to Sway. Them
Oh,
them them
Man,
them convers.
you don't
you
have the
don't have the
answers, Sway.
answers.
Turns out he did.
Yeah, he
You wanna
really
know what's
did.
crazy? Kanye had a conversation with Tucker Carlson that actually changed his perspective on who the true Israelites were, and that actually shocked me, if I'm being real.
What shocked me was I remember finding out, or I remember watching that first time ever rant about Kanye speaking about the 100 families and the order
Mm-hmm.
and everything like that. And then once I replayed, I'm like, damn, this nigga was spot on. Like, fuck,
Mm-hmm.
You
this
want to know
nigga
what's
so
even
right.
crazier, or not even crazier, but that's on the same similar path? Go look into Jay Electronica.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
No, no.
hold up.
So, cause you saying, oh yeah, but people
Nah,
keep
bro.
forgetting
Because
he dated a Rothschild.
and I was just finna say that bro is really in the mix, like legitimately in the mix,
Like, how you a
which is a
5%er? How you a
that's a
five
crazy
percenter got
move.
Farrakhan tatted on your face, but you dating a Rothschild?
That's a power move.
I,
And
He
rap
got
about
what
what
type
you
on his
rap
face?
about. That yo, matter of fact, nigga, that's a direct slap in the face. Like
Maybe it
heritage
was
wise,
look
because
into Jay
it,
Electronica.
if we understand
recon.
what Rothschild mean, which is red shield, and we go back to the meaning of that and what that stands for, Edomites. If we speaking on biblical days, these niggas are direct enemies of who? Us. And this nigga's over there jing janging their daughter.
Hey, I'll tell you, when I found that out, I was like, wait, what?
Nah, I was
How
just
you
looking
get?
at an
First of
article
all,
about
how
that a
you get
while
that
back.
close?
Honestly, that's a good question. Cause like he wasn't, you know what? I can't say that. Cause Jay Electronica moved around in the industry. He was around some very powerful people
But that still
shaking the
don't answer
right
my
hands.
question.
But look where he got in at. Think about her age range. Think about what she would have came up on. You know what I'm saying? On proximity of things, he would have been a nice kind of gateway into the hip hop realm for her, without being directly involved with somebody that was already mainstream per se.
True.
Versus like a Jay Z, or a Nelly at the time, or somebody like that. I don't know why I said Nelly, but
I know what you mean in terms of like that type of person, like that type of rapper.
yeah, yeah,
Like Jay Electronica was still a backpacker at that time.
right, right. James, I got a question for you. Did you listen to KRS-One back in the day?
Uh, lightweight.
So did you ever hear his song, their song "Why Not"?
You saying why not? No, I'd have to hear it specifically if I know it or not, but not off the title. No, sir. Why do you
Okay,
ask?
so the reason the reason the reason I asked, because it came out in like the 80s and early 90s, so it's something that like would have been more akin to like your time frame. But it was speaking.
I was
He
a little,
basically
I
giving
was a little
a
boy,
history
boy.
lesson.
Trying to call this nigga old.
Oh
I
man,
mean, I'm not, I'm
nigga, how
probably the oldest in the room,
you
but
ain't
I'm
that
just
far
saying
oldest from me?
the '80s. I'm a little boy, so I'm like not even 10
But
yet.
you would have
So
been listening to
like into the
KRS
'80s.
One though. It would have been in
Yes.
your range.
What story
Okay,
was he telling? The nigga told a
that's
lot
what
of
I was
stories.
trying to get at. I got you. He was basically speaking on the history of the Genesis essentially. He started off talking about Genesis 10. Hold on, can y'all hear that?
Yes, I've heard this song.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question. Was there more artists kind of doing stuff like that back then?
Yeah,
And the reason why I ask, because we got them. You got the people on the forefront that kind of shared information. Your ecliptic, very knowledge that it's just very direct, right? Your KRS ones, Tupac threw some things directly in your face, but like
No, I'll say this.
maybe some
It was
lesser known names that niggas weren't too familiar with.
yeah, just like now. But I mean, I think at that time somebody got some feedback. I don't know if that's y'all hear that.
So that,
Well, I hear like a muzzle
oh,
when I talk. Do y'all hear? No, y'all don't hear like fuzziness
yeah,
or a little echo
that might
after
be
I talk.
feedback
mm,
coming from somebody.
Okay, well I can hear
hold
it,
It's
up.
but
not.
Is
anyway,
it?
Is it me?
It might be you, Suave, a little bit.
Yeah, it was
I'll
Suave.
say that during that time, it was a avenue. It was more of them because it was more. It was a way to make money, man. Cross colors. It was just the
Not
'90s was a
necessarily
really.
that.
No, I'm just saying,
Like, sorry, James, cut you off, but
from
like,
my perspective, it was just a booming of blackness, dog. I mean, it's always been it's cyclical. So '60s, '70s, you got it. But I know the '90s, cross colors, Galkanai, you just got all this blackness everywhere, and
and
the
that's what I
music
was gonna say
companies,
is
the
that
music
like it
company,
was
the
inherent
music
from the
companies decided
structure.
to, yeah, they decided to capitalize off that. I mean, you still find them now. You just gotta go underground. It ain't all mainstream. That's what I'll say.
And like similar or names you're kind of looking for would be like Jeru the Damager, um, like
I mean,
Zevlov X, aka MF Doom. It's like it's a bunch of underground stuff. It's just
yes,
like James was saying. It's like around the
Gangstar,
early '80s to
you
'90s, it
know,
got
So
popularized, so
so
it
so
got pushed
not
out.
not so
even
much underground. People that's more
yeah, but even the
knowledge
dudes from here,
driven
Dead
and knowledge
Prez,
given.
yes,
But that's the
yeah,
thing,
Dead
though, Solomon,
Prez,
is that what
Gangstar.
we're telling you is that the knowledge-driven people got labeled underground,
That you know what
backpackers.
Mhm,
you are right. You absolutely right. You absolutely right.
mhm.
You
Like
absolutely
that's
right.
that's all we're saying is that it got like in James's way saying it's cyclical. It got commercialized by the time it
Yeah,
got like
because
super popular.
when he said dead president, it made me think about a bunch of other people that I could put in that same category. That yeah. Nah. Okay. Well, on another note, how do you niggas feel about what our president been doing literally around the world? Because this nigga is on the he in on one front, I say he doing God work with a lot of shit that he's actually attacking in a lot of these countries. If you understand what's going on over there, and then on the other end, he's a madman. But I want
This
to
is what I'm gonna
hear
say.
y'all take.
There's a Ace Vane skit with Superman and Lex Luger where Superman come in and say, "Nigga, I heard you bombing countries now." And he's like, "Yeah, nigga, we bombing countries. Suit up, let's go." And he's like, "Nigga, I ain't bombing nothing. What you talking about?" That's kind of how I feel. What you talking about, bro? This ain't I ain't signed up for this. I ain't signed up for this, bro. This was not in my game plan. Bombing Iran, bombing Iran,
Yeah, bro.
Iran.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm
bro.
good, bro.
Yeah,
Nah,
bro.
uh, uh,
Crazy
uh,
game we playing. Like my thing
uh.
is like how thin like I understand we have the strongest military in the world, quote unquote, right? But how can you maintain your home turf if you got people literally at every corner of the globe
uh.
fighting on different fronts? You know what I'm saying? Somewhere gonna be left kind of naked, and I'm starting to feel
No,
like home might be that location.
I mean, for America, the water has always been its
Uh,
biggest protector. At this point, though, you got a lot of, I don't know if you call them sleeper cells or whatever you want. I'm just saying, there's a lot of people here that's under the
you
radar.
know, we do
I
got a
mean,
lot of that.
I'm sure they watching a good amount of them, and they cutting off stuff that's probably been intended or tried. But I don't know, brother. It's just you still got China and Russia that are allies to Iran. So it's a dangerous endeavor.
But
I'll say that.
But hear me out. They've kind of already backed out in regards to getting involved with Iran in terms of where things are as of right now.
Involved where you can see it. But I'm sure behind the scenes and different things like that, they're doing what they can.
How do
And
you
then
back out of
like what is
bombing the
the
country?
I know oh
Well, they're
I
not
well
bombing the
shoot.
country, but they're in allegiance with Iran.
No. I already know about China and Russia, but what I'm saying is, how do you back out of bombing somebody though?
Oh no! You don't back out of that. That's still going. These niggas been doing that almost every other day as of right now,
Shoot, from what I hear
and they've been
is
trying to make
all day,
fronts over this
every day.
way.
But you can't really talk, but you can't really tell what they show what they want to show. But from the propaganda,
That's
they
another
say
thing
it's the
too.
most precise military strikes. And they just doing the best job ever. But does Trump never do the best job ever? He always does the best job ever. So what do we expect?
Yeah,
This
let
was I
him
was just
tell
about to say is like this the first time, not the first time, but like since I'm an adult, and since we all adults, I was saying same thing with you, so I don't know about you, Suave, but like, do you remember the Afghan and Iraqi war as a kid and how they put that shit on the news?
Yeah, I remember
Hmm.
that.
That shit was like a ESPN ticker. Like they had
it. Yeah,
like a scoreboard report.
yeah.
It is not happening for this time. It's not happening this time.
You
Like
right.
that's something I
Right.
noticed.
Now you got a point. Even dog, like
Mm.
what about Ukraine? just, just everybody
Right.
forgotten
That
about
shit just got
Ukraine?
completely nigga, nigga. Good
They
Are
still
they
in
point.
the
not still
conflict
getting
as far as
blown
I
up?
know.
That's
What
still
is
going
going?
on. That's still
And
happening. That is
China
still
still got
current.
soldiers over there? Like what the hell? Like this shit crazy. And what's
So
going on
yeah,
And
with
but
then
that's
on
what I'm
top of
Venezuela?
saying.
that, I was just gonna say that Venezuela, nigga, we over here doing this shit at Venezuela when we got oil from these motherfuckers that we can't even currently use because of how long that shit has to be processed. So we just all over the fucking place in terms of what our leader got going on, bro. And that's the crazy thing because it's like we as the people are suffering from it with how much everything is about to fucking be and it's already been. Like
Like
this
this
shit
couldn't have been how
crazy.
Bush was.
Hell nah. It was. I would say it was close. Cause man,
Like
that I don't
that's
know.
the only thing I could think of. Like I don't think Bush was like this. Like I remember, like as a kid, Bush wasn't swinging hard like this. Like Trump's
But
swinging for the fences right now.
see, he trying to prove a point. Cause you got to think, just with
But
the type of
what's the
person that
No,
point?
he is,
and see
it's an
that's the
ego,
thing. What's the
man.
end game?
With the
Is the
type of
end
person
game?
that
Is the end
he is,
game? Nah, man. It's the end game where this dude just stays president forever. Like, what's the end game? What's the end game, dog?
The
I
end
That's the
game.
thing.
The,
But
I,
first
What's
of
the
all, isn't
point?
he already like 71?
that's what I was just about to say. Ain't no end game, bro. End game is death.
He's
yeah
already
for this nigga.
71.
End game is a heart attack, sleep
And
paralysis, something.
Buddy ain't trying to give up that throne. Respectfully, he done stated that publicly. And
Nah,
we done seen what happened
So
when
you just
Democrats tried to usurp him
you get it.
before.
I mean, this dude is a convicted
Yeah,
felon
this
up there
shit
as a
finna
president. So
be.
what are we talking about?
I mean, as
Oh man.
honestly, as of right now, do we have any other candidates that would be worth the fuck for real?
yes, we do.
I put me on game because I don't know.
We do, but the money behind the lobbying is not going to show them.
You
Yeah,
know what? Fair point.
I was gonna say that too. The people who aren't under a political party, the non-political party people, I don't think they have enough funds to compete with the political
They don't
party.
have enough funds nor the percentiles to be quote unquote to remain an independent. Because
You
soon as
right.
like that's the worst thing they can do is be quote unquote independent.
So okay, ooh, this is a good segue. Have y'all heard of this dude named Big Homie CC?
Who?
Sounds familiar.
Big Homie CC.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sound kind of familiar.
Dang, what happened to James? Did he end up getting? Oh,
Bro
let me
was in his
send him a
car, so
link.
he had that bad service.
Yeah, I
This
think
service was already nervous.
he was probably maneuvering. I'm gonna just send him another invite real quick. You say we got one person in the audience. That might be shit. But anyway,
Big
Big
homie
Homie
CC.
CC. He used to be a bodyguard, security guard for a lot of famous people in the industry, celebrity, basketball players, a few artists, and a lot of other different little situations. But basically, he transitioned from that to dealing with like human trafficking and stuff like that. So saving kids essentially and women that's being trafficked. And I stumbled across him randomly on YouTube. I started watching all these interviews, and he had moved to Africa for a while. So while he was in Africa, he started talking about just some of the cultural things that's kind of normal over there in regards to like just myth, legends, and different practices and whatnot. And one of the things he spoke on were sirens and mermaids. So I want to know how y'all feel about that. I'm gonna go get my light real quick.
Shit, I mean, we already know aliens to a certain extent, or yeah, aliens exist. I'm not sure if sirens do, but at the same time, we don't know what the fuck is in the ocean at that point.
To be
So
honest,
we haven't
I've
discovered all
always
of the
had the
ocean.
mentality that
You're
I
right.
don't think there's been anything outside of God's creation. If he can make angels, what can't he make? So
You want to know something?
Now that's a
I,
The
good way
Bible
to
I'm,
come
actually
I'm,
on.
cool-
speak
I'm,
on sirens being.
Now I
The
like
Bible
that,
speak
brother.
on
That's
God creating the women that made it with the fallen angels. They were turned into sirens.
the women were turned into
hmm.
sirens.
Yep, the women who chose to procreate with the
Mm,
angels,
that's like a.
they were then turned into sirens. That was their curse.
I could see that. I could see that.
Nah, that got some sense to it. It makes some sense.
So let me ask y'all this, right? How do y'all feel about giants? Like
I need to see
just
it.
an overall.
I want to see
How do
the
you feel about
emotion.
it? Like, what do you think about them? Do
I
you feel
mean,
they real? Do you feel like it's a myth?
Victor Wimbayana is a great example. What do you mean?
No, and I like what you said,
No,
but
you're no. See,
they're
you
they're
trying? I'm no, no. Listen to me.
bigger than
Victor
that.
Wembanyama is a prime example. Giants are real. What do you
I don't
mean?
think I would consider him a Nephilim though.
He's a descendant.
What if okay, how big how big are his parents? That would be a thing for you. Like, what
Her
if
parents
both
are
his
average
parents is
size.
like under 6 feet? Right. That's what I'm about to say. So how does that
Hey,
happen? Genetics can skip,
somewhere in that
but
chromosome
still,
he got touched, bro.
right. Dude, 7'7", man. What are you talking about? You talking about a 12-foot person, a 15-foot person, a
I mean,
20-foot person?
okay,
What are you
we
talking
can hold up. Let me get this light right.
I think after.
I mean, okay. On a
I
simple
think that
sense,
what's the
David and
Hmm.
Goliath, 9 feet, right?
yes, but there are
That was
people in history.
a big
There
boy.
but there are people in history that have grown to 9 feet. And you find
So,
That's why
I've
I say
seen
Victor Wembanyama is a descendant.
even the big
are y'all
skull heads
familiar
they
with the
found around the
Titanomachy?
world. Nah, not that.
Have
It
y'all ever
sound
heard
like
of the
something.
No.
Titanomachy?
No, sir.
So,
I ain't gonna say nah. That don't nah. That sounds some. I was about to say that sounds familiar to like the Anunnaki and stuff like that, but I don't know.
very similar. So it's basically the Greek. You might as well say the Greek retelling of that because it's basically the Titan War essentially before like quote unquote Zeus brought a flood. But you know how every culture has their flood story essentially.
hmm The
Oh, oh,
reset.
okay. This is something I wanted to talk to y'all about, and it came to my mind the other day. A lot of people don't think about this when they think about like the world flood narrative, but at one point in time, all the continents were one land structure.
hmm
It's done.
So by
Pangea.
Actually,
proxy, right? Exactly.
actually, it's done that 4 times, brother. So, because the world is
Okay, I
very
got
old.
you. I got you. I got you. And I
It's
understand that.
it's
And I
separated and
understand that.
come
And I've
together
looked
like
into
four
that.
times. Yes,
I got you and I get you. And I understand that, right? But
it's moving
hear
as we
me
speak
out.
though. But it's moving very,
When
very,
people
very,
talk
very
about
increments, very smooth.
when people talk about like the biblical, you know what I mean, globe structure, they don't associate that into the narrative view. So in regards to how certain people got here and there and this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers always thinking, oh, they traveling way over here or way over there. But there's a whole time frame before the flood of people that were alive and that were scattered in different locations respectfully. So there's traces of cultures that were already global before the flood, right? That's why we
I
have
get what you.
different. Go ahead.
I get what you're trying to say. I'm sorry to cut you off.
You
I
good?
think what what an underlying issue is going to be is trying to like geographically like geolocate when the continents were together and when the people were there for them to move. That's going to be a kind of an issue. If I you get what I'm saying,
I get you.
because
That's a good
if
point.
because like James saying if the world had already like separated and all the continents had like separated at 1.4 times already, what time were the people there? You get what I'm saying?
No, you definitely
Because
right.
that's my thing.
Nah, that's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good. But
Because when they were first there, like where all the continents were first there, that's like prehistoric geographic. You know what I'm saying? Like Jurassic times, damn near.
I mean, I think you have to do. The
That's
world
over
is like
400.
hundreds of
Yeah,
millions, maybe
billions.
billions
let
years
me. Okay.
old. So
Okay.
can you fathom
So
billions
So
of years
apparently,
though?
I
no,
cannot, and I
nigga,
won't.
I
You know
can't
what I'm
even
saying?
fathom 50, nigga.
the
I'm only 30.
You know what I'm talking about? We here for at the most 100, and this shit been around for
yeah,
billions of years,
apparently
dog. Come
dinosaurs
on,
been
man.
long. Like people don't understand how long dinosaurs actually been around. Yeah, we make up
Like longer than
from my
us, damn near.
research. If I remember
Oh,
correctly,
way longer than us.
we
Way longer than us.
wait. What you say? Oh,
Like I don't think cavemen was around with
Huh?
dinosaurs,
Oh,
though.
it's that
Like
car service.
it's a different time span, like you say though. But go ahead.
yeah. I think if I remember the research
I'm not
correctly,
saying we cavemen, but I'm just saying like in the
I think it's like we make up 0.4%. Is I think 0.4% of time being on Earth, and as humans, and I think dinosaurs make up around like
yes.
35% or close to 45, I believe.
Okay then. So that's what I'm saying.
That makes
Man wasn't
sense
even
because
around when
dinosaurs,
dinosaurs
different
was on this
dinosaur
motherfucker.
ages were million plus years, whereas humans have only
Yes.
lived like probably
And
at
bruh,
the furthest back 250,000.
maybe 500,000 years. Like it's wild, right?
So we barely broke
Hmm.
Like we
a
ain't even been
pinky
around a
or like a
million years. Like
fingernail of
okay,
the time frame of being on Earth.
Nah, that's a good point. Well, all right. So going back to again the beginning, the Genesis narrative. This is when humans come into the mix. So we
I
gonna
can't.
associate dinosaurs as antediluvian,
Not at all.
if y'all understand what that term means. That's basically
Oh,
before
okay.
the flood. Antediluvian is before the flood. So that's way, way, way back.
Yo,
Before
I
Adam and
used to
Eve,
it used to
nigga,
drive me like
and
once
all
I
that.
was reading the information, like it used to drive me insane trying to add timelines to when everything occurred. Like
But you'll lose your mind
That
trying to do that.
that was one of the
I ain't gonna
hardest
hold
yes.
parts
you.
for
So, but
me
did this happen
was trying
before
to
or
put the
after Adam and like
timelines.
what? So was he like?
Good luck.
Man,
Well, I couldn't even
that
imagine.
That is a long
that shit is
order,
a tall order, my
a very
nigga.
long order.
And I done tried to structure that shit out to make sense of it, but I honestly gave up. And I'm like, the information I need to know will be available for where I need it to be. Because trying to
I
this
mean,
goes here, this
if
happened.
I mean
Fuck all
if y'all care,
that. I done lost my mind.
there's a book they sell on the TikTok shop that has the order apparently, but
I was gonna say I know there's a few versions
mhm.
where people have
And
started
they actually break
chronologically and like
down where they
doing stuff for
include
that.
Enoch's
Hmm.
grandfather and everybody that's included in the family tree.
Oh well, nigga,
Mm.
I got a timeline for that. Like,
Hmm.
But just
start
still
at
having the annotations is tight though.
coming to
And so what is
no,
the
it has
time period of
annotations
Enoch?
as pictures. It speak on the different eras. You said what?
What's the time? What's the era of Enoch? What can you give me a
The
time?
era of Enoch.
Time frame of Enoch,
Yes.
probably early 100th century, if anything.
Damn.
80 or BC?
Like before
BC,
that.
BC, way
So
BC, and the reason why you got to think
the book of Enoch.
Enoch was alive during the first 1,000 years of the human
That's before Christ.
existence,
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Damn.
and Enoch lived 365 days. He's one of the few people that didn't die. He was
I
just
think
taken
only
up
three
into
people
heaven, essentially.
in the history of the Bible didn't. I think it's three.
Two.
Didn't
Two,
physically
Yeah,
die?
who's the three? I
two.
mean, who's the two?
There's only two: Elijah and Enoch.
And
Elijah and Enoch.
what's his name? It starts with an M. We spoke about him the other day, Solo. It starts the priest.
Who?
Yeah,
Not
Melchizedek.
Methuselah.
Melchizedek is Jesus, bro. No,
Melchizedek.
I'm
Melchizedek
not.
is Jesus. I'm
I'm
convinced
not.
Melchizedek is a representation of Jesus. Okay, hear me out.
No, I haven't
When
actually.
you finish the book of Melchizedek,
All right,
finish
you know
that
what?
book. When you
I'll
finish
read
that
it.
book, holler back at me. And
Jesus.
the reason why, because the perspective that it's coming from is basically coming from somebody that was sitting at the right hand of the Father to be able to give specific information in relation to certain things that's taking place
Yo,
in
let me
those
look this
moments.
real quick.
And I see why the book was removed from the Bible essentially, because people that don't have an open mind could easily misunderstand a lot of things that's taking place. But I mean, if you understand things, it's very direct and to the point.
How do y'all feel about the Book of Judas?
I haven't got started.
I haven't finished it. I gotta finish it.
Man,
It's a
that
wild one.
book. That book gave me a whole new perspective on Judas.
Oh yes. Oh
Because
yes.
like everyone, at least in my opinion, everyone keeps thinking that he's the betrayer. But
Nope.
at least when I read that book, I was like, nah, it just gives a whole new perspective on why Judas did it. Like
It
Judas
was
was the only one
necessary,
who understood the message.
right? And think about it. In Suave, we was talking about this one time before. If not for Judas, the Romans would not have been able to
By
identify
kissing them.
who Jesus really was, because it was one of it was one of the disciples that basically looked like his twin. They didn't know if it was him or if it
John.
was John or Thomas, one of them, but they looked damn near exactly like this nigga. So he played a very particular role in
Mm-hmm.
terms of saving everybody at the end of the day on
I
some
just don't like
crazy
how they
shit.
spun him into like being a betrayer for two pieces of silver.
But I mean,
Two? I thought it was three.
he's used in that light. He, he's used in that light to show what people are willing to give up in regards to what they deem as principles, essentially. So think about it, right? Think about
I
his
can get
role.
that. I can
And
get that.
okay, got it.
I mean,
So I
if
ain't even
it's
got to explain it. Cool.
his purpose is his
Mhm.
purpose. Like even what's the man? What's the devil's name before he turned bad? The Lucifer. Like even he got a purpose. Like
Lucifer.
every, everybody has a
Oh
purpose,
yes,
or
he's the
everything
adversary,
has a
the
purpose.
great tempter. Indeed, indeed.
Because you know what I'm saying.
Oh
Without
yeah,
that one action, the ripple effect, it's a whole nother something doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ever thought about that
And
though?
that's a
How
reason.
how somebody's
No, I have,
decision
and that's the
four,
reason why
five,
God actually
six,
doesn't
seven.
intervene.
Well, no, I'm just saying this. How somebody's decision six, seven, maybe even 10 generations ago enables you to be here today. Like it's pretty wild.
And that's a fact.
nah, you're right about that.
That butterfly effect. It goes long term, at long range. But hey, my brothers, I'm gonna bring it to an end because my phone's on my low device
No, damn it.
storage, and I gotta make some more space. But it
For
was a good
sure.
conversation.
Oh yeah, we gotta do
Yes,
more
sir.
of these for sure.
Definitely
Mm.
appreciate y'all. This is gonna be episode 2, a little shorter than the first one, but I'm gonna make some space on my phone. Next one
You
I
can come
actually
back
record
tomorrow if
from
you
a
got
computer,
time.
so I ain't gotta worry about space. But yeah, man.
Shit, yeah. I
So
mean, I do an 8 to 4 tomorrow, so yeah, anything after 4, I'm with it
All right.
hey, let me know.
Yeah, I'll holler at y'all. Let me know. Bet,
for
bet.
sure.
All
And
right.
it was nice talking to you, Swall, for real.
Yes, sir. Nice to
Yes,
meet you,
sir.
All right, y'all, boss. Yes, sir.
sir.
All
Have a
right,
good one.
boom. Recording.
Shit.